Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, scents from a hat. It's been a few weeks since I've done these videos. The last one was particularly ridiculous. I think it was scents for dressing up and pretending you're a wizard. Yes, anything can come out of this hat. Well, just about anything can come out of this hat. So we're going to do another scents from a hat video. So if you'd like to know what it is, but if you've already clicked on this video, you already know what it is, then keep watching. Now, I have to disclaimer this because some people think I take this seriously. This is a fun video. This is comedy. Please don't take this for more than just ridiculous, stupid, comedic, just fun. This is not like to be taken seriously. In fact, don't take any of my videos seriously. I'm here for your entertainments. But if you do not know what scents from a hat is, the hat is currently empty right now. I like to create fun, little stupid top 10 lists by picking random scenarios and adjectives out of a hat. Last video I did was 10 putrid scents, or not putrid, pungent scents to pretend you're a wizard. I had slippery Hollywood, like holiday party videos. I think one was manly fragrances to social distance at a grocery store. Some of them can be serious. I think I had sexy fragrances to wear to bed, but then some of them, i.e. the wizard one, those are just silly fun. This is not to be taken seriously. So I'm going to put my my adjectives in here. At every video I also ask you guys, give me some ideas. I do add those to this little guy right here, to the list, to the bag of words. I can't speak, hi. And whenever I choose something, that gets removed, so I won't have the opportunity to do the same video over and over again. So we're going to pick the first adjective. Now, most of the time these have been top 10 lists, but if I think one is particularly ridiculous, I might do a top 5, we'll see. But obviously if you're watching this video, you know if it's a top 10 or a top 5 at this point. So the first adjective is delicious. So it's going to be delicious fragrances for, got the scenarios in here, and you guys might think, do I pick and then put back and redo? No, I don't think I would have some of the videos that I did. And like I said, some of these are really just ridiculous, like makes no sense kind of things. Okay. This is perfect. That a Disney villain would wear. So recently I've been talking about scenting videos, and one of them was Disney villains. So this is actually perfect. This will get a scenting video out of the way. This will do delicious. To kind of go into this, I'll read you some of the stupid scenarios I did. Film a top 10 fragrance video for YouTube. That's a funny one. Go to an interview for summer. Embrace being a crazy cat lady. I think I have one in here that's like celebrating existential dread. Yeah, there's everything in here, So, and like I said, if you guys have any questions or recommendations for either adjectives or scenarios, please let me know because it would be fun. But the hat as chosen, delicious fragrances for that a Disney villain would wear. Instead of doing top 10, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 5 villains. So give me a sec while I try to think of the best ones, and then we'll get right back to it. Okay, so I've chosen 5 Disney villains. Again, this is a sense out of a hat video, but this was a video I was going to do anyway, so I kind of had an idea of what I wanted, so the hat has chosen. I think that choosing with the hat gave us the delicious aspect and not like the best fragrance for them. So I might redo this video if you guys want to see it in the future, maybe do more Disney villains, but we're going to talk about some of my favorite Disney villains. So we have Malificent, Jafar, Ursula, Cruella, Deville, and Gaston. So I'm going to go choose some delicious fragrances for these baddies, and then I'll share them with you. Okay, I'm back, and this was harder than I thought it was going to be, specifically because of the delicious element, specifically because of the specific villains I chose. And as you guys know, whenever I do these videos, I choose from my collection. So I'm not choosing from the vast array of fragrances across the world. I'm choosing from my still pretty decent collection. And I've noticed that sometimes I have a hard time choosing the same fragrances over and over again. So I tried to be a little bit more mindful and not choose the same fragrances that you guys see in every one of these videos. I tend to kind of lean towards the same ones. So the first one is Malificent, and when I think of Maleficent, I think of somebody regal, I think of somebody royal, I think of somebody proud and elegant and mature, and just she has this narcissism about her, but also at the same time I think she's just very relatable. I mean, we've all not been invited to a party and we've been kind of bitter about it, maybe not as bitter as Maleficent. Now I'm going with the cartoon version, not the Angelina Jolie version when I chose this, and this was actually the first one I chose, and it was kind of one of the more easier fragrances, and it's from Tsvga Parfvms, and it's Wine and Chocolate. Now I love this fragrance, just it smells very decadent. It's got a beautiful chocolate note. I love the red wine note in here. I think it's really special, and I thought this would be something that you could smell on her, something very rich, something very opulent, but at the same time, just something really special. And this probably wouldn't be the fragrance I chose if I was scenting Maleficent specifically, but as a delicious fragrance, like if she was going to reach into her fragrance wardrobe and wear something to get across a tasty note, this would be something I could see her reaching for. Ursula is a number 2, and this particular lady, I grew up loving The Little Mermaid, as a lot of people did. I used to watch that movie like every single day. I had like an Ariel Barbie doll I used to sing to in the shower. I just really loved the movie. I was always really intrigued by Ursula. I thought she was really cool for some reason. One of the Disney villains I really enjoyed. So when I chose this particular fragrance, I didn't want to do anything aquatic. That seemed a little bit too easy. And also aquatic fragrances, like a delicious aquatic fragrance, seemed like there was a few ones I was thinking of, but I decided to go with something to me that smelled like mouth-watering, like enticing, like somebody that would kind of bring you in and make you sign away your voice to get a pair of legs. And I don't know if you guys have read the original version of The Little Mermaid. I love like Grimm's fairy tales and the old stories. They're very gruesome, they're very dark. I'm very intrigued by them. And The Little Mermaid was one of them that I loved. In the original story, the sea witch actually cuts off her tongue. It's very brutal and not a happy ending for our little lady. But when I'm looking at Ursula, I wanted to look at something that was confident, something that was mysterious, enticing, a little bit kind of spiritual, because she's a witch. She's in tune with everything around her. I thought that was really cool. And something that just smelled just like mouth-watering and delicious. So I chose from House of Matriarch, The Longing. This is such a beautiful fragrance, and I think this is one of the fragrances that really made Christie's fragrances become more mainstream in regards to a lot of people really knew her fragrances, really liked her, but there's just a few scents that really kind of people were gravitating towards past the people that love natural perfumery and loved her fragrances. One of them was Coco Blanc, Kazemi is another, and I think The Longing really kind of cemented people liking the way that she created unique and special kind of gourmand scents. So this is a beautiful fragrance. It's super delicious. It's very kind of mystical and enticing and kind of just really delicious. I love the note in here, and I think this would be what I would see somebody like Ursula wearing if she wanted to wear something tasty. Number 3, or Jafar. Jafar was easy, but I wanted to be very specific with Jafar. So in my opinion, Jafar is one of the sexier Disney villains. You can obviously disagree with me. I don't know why. I just really like Jafar for some reason. And for me, Jafar is not only is he magical and self-absorbed and narcissistic and has entitlement issues, but he is very grandiose, like very like pompous. So I wanted something that was probably going to be a very expensive fragrance. It wasn't just about the smell. For Jafar, it was also about the price. He wouldn't he wouldn't buy discount. He would pay full price, and he'd obviously pick the best of the best. So on top of it being a delicious fragrance, it has to be a luxury brand. It has to be top dollar luxury brand. Whether or not you agree with the price being worth it, like you go to the perfume store and you buy like one of the most expensive bottles of perfume. So for me, I had to choose that, but I also wanted to choose something that was mysterious and sexy and just smelled delicious. And whether or not you think this is a delicious fragrance, I think this is a tasty fragrance. And it's from Roja Parfvms, and it's Kingdom of Bahrain. Now this is dry and it's just complex, and it smells like spice, like cookie, like a patissier, like biscuits, and I just think it smells really delicious and sexy. And I can see Jafar going in and being like, I'm gonna spend $600 on a bottle of perfume, that one. And I just think that there's something about this that's mysterious and warm and dry like a desert, but at the same time there's like an opulence to the complexity of this fragrance, and a delicious just taste to that kind of sweetness and that little bit of lemon, that little bit of citrus, but that kind of like cookie biscuit sweetness that works just so well with this. I love it. I've reviewed this fragrance. If I reviewed any of these fragrances, I'll link them below, so that way maybe you guys can understand more what I'm saying. But I can see Jafar wearing this fragrance and definitely feeling very proud that he spent that much money on that fragrance. These last two were actually the harder ones. More so because I have to think about who these villains are and not just about how I think that they'd smell. That's what I try to do with these videos. These videos are silly fun. They're not meant to be taken seriously. But at the same time, I do take them seriously when I pick these fragrances. I'm just randomly picking. I spend a decent amount of time picking each fragrance. So Cruella Deville, I like her character a lot. I like her character in the cartoon. The other iterations, I don't, not a huge fan. But the cartoon character, I love, because she was so avant-garde. She was so fashion forward. She was so unapologetically Cruella. You don't know what made her get to that point, but she got there and she owned it. So for me, not only was Cruella about being fashion forward, she needed to take the entire intention of anywhere she went. You know, when she filled up her car with gas, she definitely was the center of attention. When she was picking up her Starbucks, center of attention. Obviously, it's in Starbucks around, but you know, you get what I'm saying. No matter what small, mundane task, she had to be the center of attention. So I needed to choose a fragrance that was delicious, but also had complimentary. I chose one of my most complimented fragrances that you wear it and you walk into a room and it commands attention. And it smelled bold and powerful and sexy and unapologetically, here I am. But also at the same time, it's not what everybody else wears. It's fashion forward fragrance in regards to being a very trendy fragrance, a very on-brand fragrance for Cruella. At the same time, not a fragrance that everybody was wearing. So I chose Oud Bouquet from the Maison Lancome line. The reason why I chose this fragrance is it's probably one of the most delicious fragrances in my collection, and it's the type of fragrance I could see somebody with Cruella's personality wearing. She wants to get compliments. She wants to be the center of attention. She has she's unapologetically herself, but at the same time, like, there is an air of I am better than you. And I think when I smell Oud Bouquet, I think that this fragrance has all of the same characteristics. It's bold, it's sexy, it's forward thinking, but still very relatable. And at the same time, it fills a room. It is one of those fragrances that fills a room. And I just think that this is the type of fragrance she could wear. And I was thinking of other fragrances that she could wear. It didn't have the delicious element to it. So this would be like her gourmand pick when she was out and about in town trying to steal some puppies and make coats. Last and certainly not least is Gaston. I love Gaston. I used to try and make up stupid rhymes and, you know, different lyrics to his song. It's just very memeable Gaston, and I don't know why. He was my favorite part of Beauty and the Beast. I just love him. He's just so horrible. So Gaston for me, was about clout. He would choose a fragrance that everybody would recognize, that would fill a room. Again, center of attention. But unlike Cruella Deville, who would choose something more fashion forward, he would choose things so that he could tell everybody what he was wearing and make him more of the alpha male that he is. Now, I probably would have chose Aventus. But Aventus I also chose for Mr. Wickham when I did the Pride and Prejudice scenting a long time ago for the exact same reasons. I kind of thought of Gaston like, what very hyped up fragrance that smells really tasty, in my opinion, very sexy fragrance that is attention grabbing. But some people, even though I love this fragrance so much, turn their nose at it. It's a little too much for them. It's a little too hyped for them. It's a little bit too overhyped for them. And I immediately went to Baccarat Rouge 540. I just think this is the type of fragrance that he would probably spray like 15 to 20 times on his skin. Think I smell sweet and sexy, and go to Belle and be like, hey girl, put down that book. Check out these pecs. And she'd be like, no, get away. No. And I just think that he would be telling everyone he was wearing Baccarat Rouge. He'd be walking around strutting his stuff, being the alpha male that he thinks he is. And I imagine Gaston wearing the heck out of Baccarat Rouge when he wanted to smell tasty and delicious. So that's just my little head vision. I can't say words, you guys know that. Anyway, guys, that is this Scents from a Hat, scenting 5 fragrances, scenting delicious fragrances Disney villains would wear. I really hope you enjoyed this video. These are fun to do, very silly. Do not take them seriously. And I'd love to know what you guys, do you agree with my choices? Do you disagree with my choices? Scent these guys yourself or scent other Disney villains, but delicious. I want to know your delicious choices for Disney villains. Let me know in the comment section below. If you have any recommendations of adjectives, scenarios, or fun little things you want me to put in the hat, let me know in the comment section below as well. I will also link my other videos scenting scents from a hat. Definitely check them out below if you want more silly, stupid fun. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.